Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. This is actually a video to complement a blog post over on the Income Bully blog. It's incomebully.com. It's part of the 31 days of blogging challenge for the month of May. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the link to the blog post is in the description. If you want to check it out, you could read along while this video is playing in the background. If not, let's go ahead and dive into this. The great inbound marketing hype. And when I say great inbound marketing hype, I bet a lot of you are thinking I'm going to start trashing inbound marketing or I don't like inbound marketing. But that's not true. That's not the case at all. SEO is part of inbound marketing, content, blogging. Uh, there's a lot that's in inbound marketing that I use on a daily basis and I love. And I would never say that that itself is hyped up or overhyped. The problem is, in my opinion, with the companies that are selling their marketing automation software or their CRMs or CMS, whatever, they they tend to they tend to have uh, I guess different types of sales doctrine that they use to get people to buy in and see the overwhelming relevance of inbound marketing. And we're going to talk more about that. So the problem I have with these companies, one of the biggest thing is, and this is the case with HubSpot and some of the others, they make it seem like you have to choose between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. You don't have to choose between either. In fact, the more you diversify your marketing, the better off you're going to be. And they make it seem like you can't use inbound methods with outbound marketing, but you can. I mean, for example, let's say you're cold calling a lead list and you generate, I don't know, three or four really good leads out of a list of 100. Then you continue following up. You could put them into some sort of funnel, autoresponder, a lead nurturing campaign. You could use inbound tactics with outbound methods. So you don't have to choose between inbound and outbound. In fact, these companies that are selling inbound marketing software are actually using outbound techniques. HubSpot's one that always talks about inbound being more profitable and better to use and all this stuff. But they're still using direct mail. They're still cold calling. They're cold emailing. They're using cold outbound methods. And you know why they use it? Because it works. But I guess it kind of goes with their company philosophy and the whole relevance and purpose of their software and the content they put out. It's to sell you on inbound software. So they don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you the gritty details. Another thing is they'll tell you that inbound marketing is cheaper overall than outbound. And one thing I like is that the sources of the study is themselves. It's their own study. And there's other companies out there that'll put out these studies as well, and it'll be, to support their agenda. And that's how it is with a lot of different companies out there and a lot of different statistics. It's funny because if you take one side of something, you could generally find some sort of statistics or some sort of evidence and proof case studies to back up your side. And that's the case with everything. So, but with inbound marketing being cheaper than outbound, I don't see how that's really the case. If you think about it, to use an inbound marketing, like marketing automation, like let's take HubSpot for example, with their whole CMS and their platform closed loop analytics. To say that it's cheaper overall than outbound is kind of a stretch. I mean, look at their cheapest package. It's like 200 bucks a month with the $600 setup fee and whatever else they throw at you. And that's just for the platform. I'm not against their prices for the platform. I think it's probably worth it for certain people. But the problem is the cost is in your time creating content, lead magnets, setting up different funnels, lead nurturing campaigns, Setting all this up, even though it's supposed to be marketing automation, it's not truly automated. There's no way you could automate content. I guess you could have user submitted content and things like that, but for the common business, let's say a roofing contractor or HVAC contractor or cleaning company, it doesn't make sense for them. They're out in the field, they're running their business, they're managing employees. They don't have time to pump out tons and tons of blog content and market that content and do all this stuff. So, if they did, and this is just a hypothetical, if they did do all this and you consider what they make hourly, chances are, by the time they have enough content produced and all this stuff lined up, they're in the hole big time. Whereas you could use direct mail. You could spend $500 on 1,000 postcards with postage and probably generate, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 clients or customers, with one mailing, and that would. I guess it depends on the industry and what your average client or customer is worth, but that seems to be pretty cheap. That's a lot cheaper alternative in terms of time. So, whether inbound marketing is cheaper than outbound marketing, sure, there's probably some examples where it is, but there's a lot where it's not. So, it's kind of a moot point. It's not something that's relevant across the board. I'm sure you guys understand that. And if you're reading the blog post, you'll see more examples. Another thing is, they say it's supposedly the most effective marketing method since 2006, but I don't see it. I don't see how it's the most effective. I think it's something that everybody should probably implement. Everybody now that's online should be implementing some sort of inbound marketing for sure. But to say that SEO is more effective than blogging, or blogging is more effective than direct mail, or any specific tactics more effective than another tactic, it's relative. There's going to be situations where it is and where it's not. So, that's just something that isn't really true across the board. Another thing is what they want to sell with their closed loop analytics, their full blown platforms, and this isn't just HubSpot. I don't want to single them out. There's plenty of others out there. But what they want to sell you won't work for the majority of businesses. It just won't. Most businesses are, small local service area businesses, maybe some retail. How many business owners do you talk to that have the time or even the money to hire somebody full time to do this stuff? I guess it's a perfect opportunity for those offering full blown inbound marketing services. But for most businesses, going this extensive and deep does not make sense. I mean, could you imagine like a roofing company that just does business, let's say Omaha, Nebraska, and their metropolitan area? If they just do business there, what sense does it make to create some $5,000 infographic when you know you're you're only going to get a portion of people from your area to see that? Infographics are awesome. I love them. They're engaging. They get a lot of backlinks, but the people that see them are usually nationwide. It's not a location focused content method or medium to reach your target demographic. So, for the majority of businesses, it just won't work. It doesn't make sense. It won't work. It's not really efficient for them. But without just uh, talking bad about it, I do want to show you some of the good things and the reality of inbound marketing. So, you know, inbound marketing in general, it works. It definitely works. It works for me. It's always worked for me. It works for a lot of companies out there, and that's probably why they go for it. But with inbound, and it's not just the whole closed loop analytics and the platforms. Let's just talk about like SEO, for example. It that works. It brings in leads. It brings in phone calls. It's good for branding. There's a lot of things that it helps with, but it's not easy. It's not quick. It takes time. And the same thing with blogging. To really reap the rewards of blogging, you got to keep on doing it. And publishing content alone is not enough. You have to market that content. You have to put it out there, promote it, get people to see it. So it's it works, but it's not easy. It's not a quick solution. Really, when you talk about efficiency and you want something quick, pick up the phone, start cold calling, send out some letters, direct mail, buy an ad in a trade magazine or business journal. That's something that's a lot quicker and easier. And in a lot of examples, it works a lot better too. So, inbound marketing, it works, but it's not easy. It's not quick. But I recommend everybody to, at least implement it. Another thing is it takes a big investment, not just financially, and really the financial investment for inbound marketing is so small. Like you don't need to use one of those big companies. You can do it yourself. You don't need all that automation. But the one thing you can't get around is the time involved. So, if you guys have your own blog or you have a company blog or you do any kind of content marketing, I'm sure you're well aware of the time investment. The time investment's the biggest investment there is. It's the only thing that you can't get back. With money, you could throw money into something, invest it, and you get it back. You get it back tenfold or whatever your ROI is. But with time, you never get your time back. It's a lot of time when you want to implement content marketing inbound, things like that. So, another thing is inbound methods work extremely well with leads generated from outbound tactics. And this is something that really bugs me because it was a blog from and I won't single them out, but it was a blog post from one of those big companies, and they asked for people that are actually using outbound marketing and trying to integrate inbound with it and see what's working, what's not. And I gave them a pretty good case study, and they're going to feature it. They said that they would feature it, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, they wouldn't feature it because it didn't really align with their focus of sales. They want people to think that you need inbound marketing, like you need the whole platform. You don't need to do any kind of outbound methods anymore. So it didn't really fit in with what their overall goal was or is, and that goal is to sell you on their platform. So it really does work great with outbound tactics. If you let's say you go to a networking event and you meet a couple people, they're pretty good leads. Why not just throw them in a little basic indoctrination autoresponder series, get them introduced to you a little bit further, get some sort of personal attachment to you from them, and educate them. Education is a big part of inbound marketing, and even though it was an outbound tactic technically, you could have great results using inbound methods with outbound. You don't have to pick one or the other. Another thing is, and this is a real reality, the leads generated from inbound marketing are a higher quality, but there's definitely lower in quantity. And I know a lot of people say, well, quality is all that matters, right? Like you just want high quality leads. Well, a big part of my business has been quantity. That certain um, you need that certain line where you have quality and quantity. And I guess it kind of is based on your pricing model too. But with pricing, you want to be not low, but not the highest. You want to be that fine line where you're getting quality clients, but also a higher volume of clients. And that's the way I see it with this as well. The leads generated from inbound are always higher quality. Like they're always, very good quality leads. They want to talk to you. They're motivated. They want to get something going pretty quickly too. But they're fewer and far between than, let's say, you cold calling a list of people and generating your own leads from that, in which some will probably fall off more than the inbound leads, but you could scale up easier that way. You could only scale inbound marketing so much. With outbound marketing, you could scale it up a lot further and that makes more sense if you're trying to grow your company and diversify where your revenue is coming from. So that pretty much covers this video. It's a little bit longer than I wanted, which I guess you guys are probably used to, considering the webinars go between an hour and 2 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, check out the blog post, and definitely leave me a comment below the blog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good day, good night, whatever time it is where you're from.